Oh, yo, 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 yo. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Came up from the struggle, now we stacking chips. Black Wall Street, we rebuilding from the pits. Politics and business, we beyond rich. Donnie Glover Show, watch us shift the switch. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the real ones come. Every episode, dropping knowledge, dropping bombs. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Talking black excellence, ain't no exclusivity. History is making, reclaiming our divinity. Break by break, rebuilding our community. Donnie Glover Show, celebrate unity. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the real ones come. Every episode, dropping knowledge, dropping bombs. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. From the boardroom to the streets, we making waves. Business minds running, new paths paved. Politicians listen, they know we are brave. Black Wall Street dreams rising from the grave. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the
we have some stars in the building.
Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Oh yo, oh yo, oh yo, yo.
We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Special thank you to our executive producer of Be More News in Niagara, Mr. Emmanuel Price. We're up here this is the New York side, and that's the Canadian side, and we will be there for the New Year's dropping of the ball or somewhere around here. Very beautiful Niagara Falls, some of the best water in the world. So make sure you get out, get your passport, and do some traveling. And keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Welcome to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Here on Atlantic, Mississippi, with our very dear friend Corey Mathis. A beautiful town, New Orleans. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com. We're going to give you an update. 10 years since Katrina. The news before the news, where we uncover the truth.
Wall Street, we rebuilding from the pits. Politics and business, we beyond rich.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. Got my main man, Mr. Renny Bass. How you doing, sir?
Feeling fantastic. How you feeling, Mr. Glover? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. That big brother look like you got some logo on.
Oh, you noticed, huh?
Oh yeah. What you got? Is that Kioba?
It is Kioba. This is the original Kioba, and this is the new shield that we just had made. The new Kioba shield established in 2018.
You know, Renny, I'm writing my 4th book right now.
Oh, give thanks.
And I'm talking about ownership, what we own. Here in Baltimore, citywide, statewide, nationally, we have $1.6 trillion in annual disposable income. What can we do better?
The first thing is communicate. We have to communicate. We have to communicate this knowledge, man, educate the people and let them know, because a lot of people just unaware. Not that they don't want to do nothing about it, they're just unaware of this knowledge. So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is to bring opportunities and put them in front of people. And because sometimes the people that you're trying to help or you're trying to educate are the ones that's talking the loudest and screaming at you the loudest and fighting you the hardest. But you know, it's still your people, so you still got to do what you have to do. So you have to put opportunities in front of them, and you have to keep putting opportunities in front of our people so they can understand. And hopefully, eventually, it'll chip off. It's not an overnight problem. It won't be an overnight solution. Right.
So, Renny, you've traveled all over the world.
I have. Good, thanks.
What would you say to the person to the black person who says to you, Renny, this is a white man's world?
I would tell him that, you conceding. At first, I would remind him that this is God's world, and you're conceding something that hasn't been determined. So therefore, go out and challenge that instead of conceding to it. Challenge, make it a black man's world, make it a black woman's world. So I
How
think
do
it's
we come to that conclusion that it's a white man's world? Is it because we haven't traveled?
Right, we haven't traveled.
These are well-traveled people who say this.
And we listen to what they are saying, and they feed information. We don't know who they are, but we take a lot of stock in what they say. That's what they say. And we take a lot of stock in what they say, and we don't know who they are. But they say black men can't work together. Kioba is a physical living example that's not true. And there's millions of examples of that's not true. And we just have to be examples, have to keep bringing these examples to the forefront.
But they argue with me, Renny, no, this is a white man's world. Black people ain't got no power. I say, well, we are only 15% of the population in America. How much power do you want to see? We're outnumbered.
So they say 15%, but that's another argument.
Say we 20%. Say we 25%.
Right.
We still outnumbered. But I think even if we 25%, look at all that we have accomplished with that 25%. Look at what we've done.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, Don. If you go back, look at history, right, and you'll see what organized black power looked like. Tulsa, Oklahoma, so many different examples. And we keep forgetting about Lake Lanier in Atlanta, but there's so many different examples of what greatness looked like when you look at unity of black folks. I mean, it's ridiculous when you look at what the examples that we have. So good things.
Is Nicole gonna come in? If Nicole, if you're gonna come in, you gotta cut your camera on because you kind of not all the way connected. Assalamu alaikum, Abdul.
Wa alaikum assalam. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Up to every card.
I think I've met you before.
Yeah, we met Mr. Glover on a couple of occasions. Yeah, blessed and grateful, man. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah. You know what I mean? Yeah, in spite of all, blessed and grateful,
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Looking forward to, to being a part of this today. I've been told a lot of good things. Y'all been had some previous good airings, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Dude, what do you make, Renny? I don't know if this is appropriate, but what do you make of this Diddy trial?
I believe in it's kind of complicated. I don't think he's gonna getting a fair shake because I think he's being really tried most of all, which really means a lot in the
court of public opinion. I presume he was about to say. Any thoughts on that, Renny? His camera went out.
Yeah, it's a distraction, man. It's something that's happening. You see what's going on with this budget bill. So it's ironic that the Diddy trial start right around the time as the budget bill that they're trying to pass. And these executive orders that Trump is signing into law. So I just think it's a distraction. When in America, as we just said, without the organized power, when the machine is against you, you cooked. So Diddy is cooked no matter what happens. I don't care what happens in the trial. It's no way possible with all the attention, all the money that he spent, he's going to be found not guilty. So that's Bill Cosby, Mike Tyson, R. Kelly. You look at all the black men. Once the spotlight is on you, that's it. So he would have been better served to grab some time, man, try to get out the way, try and let things calm down. But he took it to trial, so I think they're going to go ahead and take the trial and they're going to smash him. But I really think it's just a distraction of what's really going on in the country. They sliding some stuff past us and they saying, look at Diddy. And we looking at Diddy and they slide some stuff right on past us.
Have you ever seen America so openly racist?
Well, yes. I have. You know what I'm saying? We had a period where it calmed down a little bit, but, you know, our history shows us, man, that this is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We only a rock throw away from Doug's being unleashed and fire hose being turned against our family. You know, so yes, have seen it. And I think that this right now is an organized attempt. But you know what I think is different, Donnie? I think the organized white person that's caught in the middle has more knowledge than they had before, had more access. So I don't think it'll never get as worse as it was before back then, because I think the average white person caught in the middle find this what's going on disgusting, and I don't think they can live with it.
You mean the racial hatred?
The racial hatred, yeah. Well, they can live with the racial hatred. They've lived with that all their lives. I don't think they can live with the blatantness of what's happening, because it put them on the spotlight. Because, you know, it's like when we see crime, our young brothers doing stuff, that's the reflection on us. In the same way with them, it's a reflection on them. So I don't think that they looking at that and something like, this is not us. This is not who I am as a person. You know, it might have been my grandfather, great-grandfather, and it might be some guys over there, you know what I mean, sitting with cloths on their head. But this is not who I am as a person. And I believe that the average white person is not caught up in the radicalness and not ignoring it like it ain't my issue. Some people in the middle, those are the people that's not going to allow it to go to the distance where the radicalness wanted to take, where this system want to take it to.
In other words,
believe that.
In other words, there are more good white people than we realize.
Absolutely, I honestly believe that. You know, nobody can change their skin color. Nobody can say, hey, I want to be black, I want to be white. So you can't fault people for being a certain color. You know, I don't hate color. I hate ignorance. And it just so happened a lot of the ignorance that I hate come in a form of color that don't look like me. But some of it come in a form of color that do look like me. So okay. I hate unconsciousness, ignorance. That's what I hate.
Let me ask you, is Nicole coming on the show?
No, she's just listening, so I believe.
Okay. This week we celebrated the 100th birthday of El Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, aka Malcolm X.
Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
Malcolm X would be 100 years old if he were alive.
Alhamdulillah. How you feel about that? I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Well, the only person that I ever talked to, well, one of the only people I know who met him was Brother Bay. Remember Brother Bay?
Absolutely.
Brother Bay is Stokey's dad.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Brother Bay told me that I don't know that I ever saw Brother Bay smile, but when he would talk about Malcolm, he would smile.
Well, you know, Sophia, his father was Malcolm's lieutenant.
Wow, so he was connected to Muhammad Ali and Malcolm.
Absolutely, and my man Sharif and Umar Bilal used to be Muhammad Ali bodyguard. They seen him at an event, and they got busy with some guys trying to run down on the Muslims, and they got busy, and Muhammad Ali poured about the crowd. Said, "I want y'all with me," and put them on as his bodyguard right out of Baltimore.
Yeah, one of them dudes that had that was accused of Malcolm's murder. He was in Jersey with me.
Donnie, have you ever? I know you met Umar, but do you know his story?
No, please share.
Yeah, well, I was unfortunately, I'm gonna say victimized in the manner in which I was prosecuted. I was a victim of the broken criminal justice system at the tender age of 15 years old. I was accused for homicide, couple homicides actually. By at that time, a rogue system I still stand fast on, because from day one I maintained my innocence in the case. It didn't prosecuted and the sham prosecution and was ultimately convicted of life and sentenced to life at 15. So it took 31 and a half years to uncover evidence that actually put the prosecutor's case in conviction in question. You know what I mean? That consisted of third party guilt evidence of others that was ongoing suspects, unbeknown to us 30 years prior, and the murder was never revealed to us that they had also said a group of individuals who had a dispute with the victim in question the day he was killed over the heroin territory. So that came out as a result of me doing my due diligence on the inside as a jailhouse lawyer and paralegal that ran the law library. And the inside, I championed the rights of the prisoners, be it through disciplinary reviews or as well as redressing the courts as far as challenge convictions and filing lawsuits. So I was ultimately targeted as a jailhouse lawyer. I was problematic to prison officials. And
What did you do at 15 to make them come after you like that?
well, I mean, unfortunately, I was a product of that environment, not to pass the blame, because I accept whole responsibility for unfortunate role I played in the drug trade that destroys the fibers of our community today. Unfortunately, but that was a product of that environment. Coming up with a mother that was a young mother that was caught up in the street life and drug addicted, and father that was saying, I was forced to fend for self. So
East
that was
Baltimore, West Baltimore, where were you, Umar?
both West and East. Because there are times I lived with my grandmother in Northwest. At times I lived with my mother in East Baltimore. She moved around proudly. So I pretty much at that age, I was just moving where I can move. I had to move where I had to move, not where I wanted to move. You know what I mean? So
Where in East Baltimore? Project?
no, we lived on Preston and Bond for a minute. We also lived on Ashland and Luzerne, Huffman and Holbrook over there.
Yeah, I was
And
waiting to hear that. You
yeah,
don't talk to East Baltimore long before H&H come up. It's bound to
yeah,
come up.
yeah, absolutely. So, unfortunately, like I said, I was but I was my whole story began being a product of the foster care system and in which leads now to the prison pipeline. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's this troubled youth situation they had with the juvenile justice system. I mean, that's nothing really new. I experienced that firsthand, about 30 plus years ago. You know what I'm saying?
What do you tell yourself at 15? We've talked with Mr. Rudy before.
Yeah,
Mr. Rudy did a similar amount of time, but he was a grown man when he was convicted.
yeah,
What does
yeah.
a 15-year-old, man, you had to grow up really, really fast.
Well, you have to understand, Mr. Glover, that I wasn't the average 15-year-old. I was unfortunate, like I said, I was forced by the environment and circumstances to grow up faster than I was. So at 15, I was operating as a 45-year-old. You know what I mean? So
Easy, Donnie. When I say 45 years old, I mean 45 years old.
yeah,
10 toes down.
yeah. So you know what I mean. It was sad, and I say that, Mr. Glover, because the thing that they highlighting today about this trouble, this been an issue, and it started from me also being a product of that juvenile justice system, far as the youth facilities, far as the being subjected to the culture that abuse that with that. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, and it just now seemed to be trying to stick his head, because I'm saying this is nothing new. I said this is what I was going through 30 plus years prior. You know what I'm saying? To even going into the adult system. So it's sad to say that the problem is really got worse than it got better. Because
America has 5% of the world's population,
yeah,
but we have 25% of the incarcerated persons. Nearly 40% of that number are Black men, and Black women are the fastest growing demographic.
absolutely. That's why we the minorities, but unfortunately, into the penal system and the prison system, we are the majority. Ain't that something? Yeah.
We're the minority in the country, but the majority in the prison.
In the prison system, yeah.
Well, we are part of a system. We are placed in a system. We are part of a system, and our role in the system is to fund the criminal justice system. So we
Yeah.
fund it from the streets by getting caught up, like you say, in the illusion that this is funding that we're going to make money at it. And then once we get incarcerated, we fund it because it gets money from the federal government to set aside
Absolutely.
our budget. So our role in America is to fund these systems.
Yeah.
That's what we got to understand mentally, that we are fulfilling the role that they have for us. So when we say change, and we talking to the oppressors, they saying change what?
Absolutely.
It's working perfect.
Yeah. That's why if I may chime in, Mr. Bass, that this is why the prison culture and trade is a very big business for us, even on Wall Street in corporate America, because it's so much money being made on just warehousing, and that's why I can't say the state and federal system, but the federal system a little different. The state system does not prepare or promote rehabilitation at all. That's not their agenda. They prepare and promote recidivism. This is why they simply just warehousing in the state system down here. And they have a few that's available, but you got so much other politics involved with even the money being misappropriated. It's supposed to be for education for the penal system. It's not there. This is why you got a lot of guys coming out here that don't even have simple GEDs coming out the state system that they've been locked up 25, 30 years. Not that it's not there, but it's really not there, even for the ones that decide at a later age in life to say, you know what, man, I got to get ready for the street, because I'm at the point now where I might be great pushback out there. A lot of laws changing that wasn't in place then that's allowed me to get out. Now it's changing, so the possibility of shot of me getting out is great. So when you decide, even at the later stage in your incarcerational age, of jumping back in because the reality hit that you may be going back to a society that you then on a waiting list because you over 21, so you're not mandatory education in the prison system. So they gonna prioritize the ones that's 21 and under because they have to by law, and most of them don't even want to go to school. So they gotta lock them up because they don't want to go to school in the jail. So it's crazy. And I'm just grateful to got my experience to be to leave the state system and went to the feds, because I was able to take advantage of the education opportunities that wasn't available in the state system. You know what I mean? This completed with the completion of the GED to higher education, because they had that available if that's what you wanted.
Umar, there is a country to the south of America called Mexico.
I'm familiar with what I heard about.
Below Central America is South America. Countries like Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil. People from these countries come fleeing to America to escape the cartels.
Yeah.
Black people are not the only ones who are disaffected by the drug trade.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's definitely unfortunately. I was just speaking on my experience and situation. It's definitely a sad situation. It's a cold reality though. But if I may, I'd like to just finish the part where you was asking me about my story. But it took me some push and pull, but finally I was targeted by prison officials for my involvement in what you call, of course, defined as constitutional protected activity. And
slow down. Say that again.
I said I was involved. It's got to some point within the prisons in the system where I was being a fierce advocate for other prisoners, and just as far as protecting their redress to the courts and etc. constitutional and civil rights. I was adversely subjected to adverse action by prison officials. And
in other words, you were helping people and you were getting in trouble for helping people.
That was my job as a paralegal, a job that I was trained and authorized to do through the Institutional Classification Committee.
But after you did your job so well, they come down on you.
Well, the job it wasn't that. It was that I crossed the Rubicon, because what I was taught and hired to do, it wasn't to include suing prison officials for constitutional and civil rights. So I crossed the Rubicon at that point.
All right. Did you sue any and win?
Yeah, well, I got 3 going on right now still. There's some litigation going on. I won a couple when I was on the inside, but that was for myself. But others, numerous, I've successfully helped many sued throughout the far as ranging from excessive force to discrimination to this racial disparity, you know what I mean, on issues, you know what I mean, that now access to the courts. I've got to have extensive experience as far as litigation, and for me, Mr. Glover, it resonates so strongly with me because I never been to law school. I'm unfortunately, like I said, a product of the street.
Do you want to go to law school?
Yes, that's one of my near agenda, God willing, goals, because I think I can make a little more better impact from inside than outside the actual spectrum of things, right?
Well, I'm ready. I'm starting University of Baltimore in a couple months. You want to start?
Absolutely, emphatically.
So let me just say this, Mr. Glover, and anybody for the listeners too. You know, I've been in business, Donnie, going on 40 years, right? Over 40 years. I bought my house over 40 years ago. And Mr. Martin,
you've been in business all your life. Stop playing, man.
I do legal business, I should say.
Yeah.
Abdul Umar handles all of my legal affairs for me.
We got lawyers. Who do you want to work with? What law firm you want to work with?
I don't really have. I mean, Mr. Governor, I'm being humble about it. That it's no particular law firm I want to work with. It's which law firm going to work with me. I mean,
Big Corey worked with Ivan Bates' firm.
Yeah, Corey works with Ivan Bates. I'm aware of him, but my thing is that I have extensive experience. Like I said, I've been a paralegal for 27 years. You know what I mean?
Plenty of lawyers who need you.
Yeah, and I'm on deck. You know what I mean? I'm on deck. My thing is like I have a strong life bio and a business bio as far as resume wise that, you know, that covers me having a vast experience for all facets of the law. You know, some paralegals, you know, they specialize and have mastered this civil or criminal. You know what I mean? But I was blessed over the tenure of my studies and still a vigorous student of actually apprising myself with all facets. So we do criminal law, we do civil, we do lawsuits, we do Social Security, disability, accidents. You know what I mean? We do divorces, we do every child support, child issues. We do all that.
Exceptionally well too, let me add.
So it was it's definitely a humbling, it's fulfilling because I've never been to the schooling for that, but have had extensive experience and knowledge of actually litigation and learned it, you know. Learned it so well enough by the grace of God, I was able to fight and get myself out at the 33 years. With no lawyers.
So you trying to go to law school in September or what?
Yeah, that's emphatic. That was I thought we was definitely clear on that. I'm definitely interested.
Well, I got phone numbers there.
I got my BA already in criminal justice as well. So, you know, I have been to law school, that's all.
You need to get you in the law school.
Yeah, I'm on deck. But meantime, I just been contribution and giving back, and predominantly a lot of the guys I'm still assisting is those that's members of the incarcerated community.
So if somebody want to get in contact with Lone Wolf, how would they get in contact with Lone Wolf Legal Services?
Simply they can go to log on Lone Wolf at www.longwolflegal.com.
One more time, you broke up. Do that one more time.
I said they can go to www.longwolflegalassistantresearchaidservices.com, or I can also alternatively leave a card with Mr. Glover so he can make sure he can put anybody that may call in may be interested in our services.
We got a private chat. I don't know if you see that. If you put that, let's get that. You sure you ain't from New York? You from East Baltimore? Lone Brothers.
Nah, Lone Wolf. Legal Assistance Research Aid Services.
That's a long name, man. You had to shorten that thing, man.
No,
Lone
because
Wolf Legal Assistance
Research Aid Services.
Research Aid Services.com.
Yeah.
Well, you had to shorten that, Jay. I can't go remember all that. Like Lone Wolf Legal. That's what I do.
That's fine. If that works for you, that's fine. No, the long as the Lone Wolf man.
I want them to find you.
Yeah. So we've been involved in a lot of high profile political cases on the inside.
Like what? Like what?
The one of the biggest one recently was Andre Hurd out of New Jersey. We got him back on a resentencing after having double life plus 100 years for a double sheriff shooting during a bar robbery when he was 16 years old.
Did he
We
do
got
it?
him. I mean, the evidence was to the contrary. So I can't say definitively. The man adamant maintains his innocence today. So we successfully litigated, got him back in court. Prosecutor didn't. The public defender office wouldn't want to take the case to ACLU. We assisted them, pro se, did all the paperwork, fighting attorney general office back and forth, all the way to the New Jersey Supreme Court, and won his resentencing. Successfully got him out. So after he got the reversal and the resentencing, then everybody want the case and the politics involved behind the whole emerging adult science as far as the brain undevelopment. So our position in that case was 30 years later, where that it finally came to concede and accepted through the criminal justice system and widely through the psychiatric community that the youth brain doesn't fully develop until 25 years old. So those individuals who are accused and convicted of crimes of first and second degree magnitude have now redress available on question and putting their intent in question as a matter of law that wasn't previously available to be utilized.
So Umar, what does that mean to the regular person? Speak regular language.
They individuals that was under 21, when their first and second degree crimes
Under
occurred.
25.
Yeah, but actually under 20, the signs cover 25, but it's actually under 25, but under 21 when their crimes actually had occurred at the time, that was convicted and charged for first and second degree murder. The position now, based on the science that's in place in the law, they was unable to formulate the required intent that's required for first and second degree murder. So it establishes now a reduced culpability that places the integrity of the conviction in question as far as the top counts of first and second degree, which brings it down to a second or third degree if it was a first degree. And if it was a second degree, it brings it down to a third, which affects also the status of the sentencing that may be imposed.
Do you expect the average person on the street to understand that language?
No, a lot of attorneys don't. I mean, this was a baby that was really.
Umar, how can we break this down for the average person?
That the persons that stand convicted of first and second degree crime or charged for them, the charging doesn't support the crime as far as the intent go, because they could not, as a matter of law, not with their alleged, they could not have formulated the required and necessary intent for first and second degree counts.
Meaning that if they had a first and second degree murder, they're going to get less time.
Yeah, it's time to go back to revisit now the sentencing, the punishment aspect of it, because, you know, you have the central element as far as the mitigation factor of brain undevelopment. No matter what the nature of the circumstance or killing or crime may be in question, one still was unable to formulate the necessary prerequisite intent to establish the first and second degree crime. So it establishes the mitigation for coming down back, go back for resentencing to a lesser degree.
I rest my question.
Yeah, so we've
That's why they need to reach out to Lone Wolf.
Yeah, yeah, because it's, I mean, really, Mr. Glover, it's a thing, and it's crazy because a lot of even prosecutors and the judicial system, and most importantly, the psychiatric community have widely already accepted this. So it's no longer an issue of an individual is coming along and has to get a bunch of doctors and try to persuade the court of the persuasion of belief of it. It's already been widely accepted and established now.
That somebody at 15 is not able to make adult decisions?
That someone's actually, Mr. Glover, at 21 is unable to formulate the adult decision of killing a person with the intent to killing at 21, according to the science of brain not being fully developed.
Now, you would accept that if somebody came in one of your family members' house, 21 and under, and took somebody's life in your family, you would accept that as an excuse?
Well, it's not a thing of me accepting it. It's about if the law's in place on it. It's not to be accepted.
Okay, how would you feel if somebody did that in your family?
Well, it's funny that you would say that.
Would you care?
Hear me out.
Would you care? Would you care what age they are if they violated somebody in your household? Would you really care?
Absolutely not. That's for a matter. That's for a matter, respectfully, for the judicial system to deal with us.
Well,
I
this is
would.
what I'm saying, because we
Yeah.
got young people out here right now, big brother, who are breaking law. Some
Yeah.
are going as far, and so are we saying they're not? Are we saying that we're raising people who we don't want to be responsible?
No, I just say, it's a case by case application situation. I wouldn't say that, because if something happened to my family, I definitely would want the full justice of the law, as far as justice wise. But at the same time, the accused is still entitled to
I
a
get it.
defense.
I get it. But I'm thinking from
Well,
a broader perspective, how do we fix our neighborhoods?
well, let's look
Oh,
at it like this perspective, Donnie. Let's look at it like this. In between the lines of the field, there's rules that you have to play by. And if it's rules that you have to play by, and nobody's not playing by the rules, how do you enforce and say that these rules are not right?
We know it ain't right. It's a tilted playing field. We got
Yeah.
it.
Right. So, but I'm saying, so how is this evidence, right, that the science, that this new brain science evidence, any different than the utilization of the law doing criminal things to incarcerate people, and even the conditions that they can't keep the people in. So if you want to indict no, don't indict the law, indict the system. The
Absolutely.
law is just a part of
No, I'm not indicting anybody. I'm
Yeah.
saying,
No, I'm not saying
how do
you.
we
I'm just
get-
saying in general.
how do we get these kids off the corner of Pennsylvania and Lawrence?
Well, one of
They're
the
there
ways we
every
don't
single
do it,
day.
one of the ways we don't do it is incarcerate them for the rest of their life. That's not the answer.
Okay, what do we do?
Well, I think we invoke more resources into our community. You know what I'm saying? We have more recreation centers than we have bars and jails. You have it's easy to put up rec centers and like the skill center. It's
You ain't
easy
got
to
no
bring them
argument
skills
here.
back to the community.
In the neighborhoods that need it most.
Right? It's easy to do that. This is not challenging. It's not
It's
something.
not.
It's not nothing that's challenging.
I totally agree. While there are no wrecks in West Baltimore, East Baltimore, like when we were kids, I have no idea.
Because we use them tools to be productive. The system seen that, and they took them out because they realized that's not what we want.
That was contrary to the plan.
Exactly. The plan is
and if I may add this, man, if I may interject, because I was one of, like I said, Mr. Glove, I was one of them troubled youths. You know what I mean? And at the time, it's crazy, because at the time when I went down for my charge that I was wrongfully accused of and convicted of, at the time, Baltimore Police Department and prosecutors had a culture at that time. This is why so many now convictions are coming back and being now brought back into play. That's revisited. That's 25 and 30 years old. They had a culture at that time in place of using the trouble youth at that time to close out a lot of cases. This is why now a lot of guys, like you say, coming back that haven't been, and it's like, whoa, why this went that way all them years? But that was the culture then. Then you got, a lot of homicide detectives then, died on and moved on, retired. But that was the culture at that time. We're going to close out a lot of these cases on the politic aspect, but we're going to hang them on the back of a lot of these troubled youth. Don't get it wrong, because I ran the street, but at the same time, I maintained that stance 30 plus years ago in pride that y'all had the wrong man for this case. I didn't do the case. But it was highlighted on, okay, yeah, because I had a hell of a track record for being a juvenile delinquent. And I was asked about that, speaking on the subject of the wreck situation, by
I
one of the
got a question for Mr. Glover. Hey, Donnie, let me ask you. You know a lot of people. You've been in a lot of places. Around Baltimore, do you know anybody that come up in Baltimore that wasn't a trouble youth at that time? That they was a youth?
There were people who stayed on the porch. Their parents kept them on the porch, but if you went in these streets, you were bound to get into some type of trouble.
It's gonna find you in most instances. You ain't got to find it.
You know, you
And
take
if
a
you're a
rock.
young black man, if you're a young black man by the age of 14, you need money. And you probably need more money than your mother or father is willing to give you.
Right.
$2-3 ain't gonna cover you. So you bound because you want these things.
Yeah.
You know you're not getting no girlfriend without no money. You know you're not getting no new tennis shoes without no money. You ain't getting no fresh gear without no money. So you're gonna break law. Unless somebody else give you money or you find a job.
Yeah.
You might go apply for a job at McDonald's. You know, and have no idea that unless you know the manager, you ain't getting nothing.
And that urban community coming up though, we the biggest ones that we had to look up to, the role models was the corner boys and dope boys in most instances. You know what I mean? So I even had
to them.
I mean, I did at the time. I was like I said, coming up in that culture, that vibe at that time, to see all the pretty cars, that was more learning and more attractive and drawing from
I
the
don't
street.
know if we looked up to them. I know we saw them because we did know at 13, 14 that dope killed. We did see that dead body.
Yeah.
So we knew there were other ways to make money, but you also knew they was going to end up dead quick.
But let me ask you this. Let's look at the numbers game. In the community, you might have 1,000 youth. You might have 300 jobs.
Numbers game, you're not getting a job.
You're not getting the job.
Especially if you don't know somebody.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm just saying the conditions are set for the conditions that they are. The conditions are not set for them to be better.
Yeah.
They're not set for them to get better over time. The conditions were set to stay the same, and the conditions were set for failure when they were set.
Yeah.
So it's like a trap.
Absolutely. That's why they call it the game, but it's definitely far from a game. It's a trap. Because, Mr. Glover, if I can sue the streets, and I say this often, if I can sue the streets for false advertisement, I would. Because it was definitely a setup. It wasn't nothing. It was a trap. It was a true trap. And I was asked a question, speaking on the wreck situation, if I made quickly that y'all touched on. I was asked at that age, how did I had 5 handgun charges at that time as a youth, right? How did I have 5 handguns at the time? I was 14, grade turn 15. And the answer was simple. It was easy for me to get a gun in my neighborhood than it was to find a rec center or after school program or a summer job. That just was reality.
But you couldn't play ball?
I mean, I played ball, but ball didn't bring the money in. But I played ball.
Ball ain't pay no bills.
Yeah, ball ain't paid. Ball ain't paid for me and my little brother that had to eat at the end of the game. I'm bringing home money so we can go eat. So that wasn't really important to me at that time. You know what I'm saying?
See, these are like stereotype mindsets, right, from our back community. And I know Donnie just asked a question because for the interview, but there's people who ask these questions out of the lack of knowledge, thinking that the opportunity for everybody, all dudes can play ball, all sisters can model, sisters can dance. That's the way out of the hood.
Yeah.
But even if that was the case, and everybody could do that, and they could get out the hood, that's like a faucet. It would be turned off because again, it go back to the plot and the planning of the system.
Yeah.
The system was a organized plan, and they keep revisiting it. They keep revisiting. That's why we end up with now, in this day and age, with somebody like Trump and what's going on, because they're looking at their numbers, and their numbers are not working out for them. The numbers over time don't work out. See, they look at the future. They look at the future, I should say, and we look at the weekend coming. And we got to change that narrative. We got to change the mindset. Of course, there's some conscious people who understand exactly what I'm saying, and they understand more than what I'm saying. But the amount of people who don't, wash that out.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, but it's a reality. It's a reality, unfortunately.
I gotta mention this though, Don. You've been to Cape Town, right?
No, never went to the South.
Okay, well, Cape Town. If you go to Cape Town, man, it's just like going to, any major city in America. You got the blacks working, and you got the whites owning. Very, very basic. But if you look at this immigration that's going on now, where in certain parts of South Africa, people are just saying that, I'd rather fight and die than not.
Yeah.
I'd rather fight and die than not fight and die. You're going to treat me the same whether I fight you or if I don't fight you. I'm going to get the exact same treatment from you. So I'd rather fight back. And there's some people that are saying that. And because of that, it's some white South Africans that's fleeing South Africa. And Al Boy, Orange Man down the way, down DC, is saying, come on in. We're going to set you up properly.
And I hope they catch an alley apple right upside their damn head.
But these are farmers, Donnie. What they coming over here? I hope
they get a farmer's alley apple.
But listen, we got farms over here that we don't want to produce food.
Yeah.
He's bringing farmers in, right? What they going to do?
I hope they get what's coming to them because they raped our people in South Africa. They took the best land. Our women run around talking about a diamond is a girl's best friend and have no idea of what black people go through to put a diamond on your damn finger. I have no idea about the blood diamonds.
Blood
the
diamonds.
Arms that get cut off in the Congo, the legs that get cut off in the Congo, the Beers Company, them rotten, racist bastards that run South Africa, that put our people on a swampland, on the worst piece of land. There's a special place in hell for them bastards. Then they want to come over here crying.
Right.
I hope they catch an alley apple.
Yeah.
Oops upside the head.
Tell me how you really feel, Mr. Glover.
Yeah, right.
Man, Nelson Mandela, 27 years on Robben Island.
Yeah.
Because of these. And then we give them sanctuary here. Did you see how they treated the Haitians, Umar?
Yeah.
When the Haitians came across the border?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Do you understand that we don't know nobody that's 2,000, even though we know history of 2,000 years, we don't know nobody 2,000 years. So knowledge tell us that we're going to be with God much longer we're going to be on this earth.
Absolutely.
So you might as well say, like your mother told me. My mother told me 3 years old, Patterson Park in Landville. Don't come in here crying.
Yeah.
Right.
Word up.
Right. But my point is this. Them people that we talking about, these gatekeepers, these colonizers, they gonna be with God longer than they here on this earth too.
So here's the question. The bill of reparations came up. The question of reparations in the state of Maryland came up. Last week, the General Assembly pushing reparations. It's on the governor's desk. Does he sign it or does he not sign it? He want to be president. If you want to be president, you can't sign it according to folklore. Because if you sign it, that's saying you don't care about being president. You don't want the white vote.
Yeah, I like Westmore. I like him as a person, right? But I don't think that he has the ability, and I'm saying within himself, because he can just pick up the pen and sign it. I don't think he has the ability to do it because of them political aspirations.
Yeah, it'll be political suicide for him. It's career suicide. I don't see him doing it as well.
So the question is, do we sacrifice for Maryland for the good of for the whole country if he become president? Because if he don't become president, it's called craps. We crap out.
Absolutely.
So it's a gamble.
It's a gamble. But the reality of it is, even if he become president, ain't no guarantee he's going to sign it.
Because it's still political. It's still political at that point as well. I agree. So
what would Harriet Tubman have done?
She'd have signed it.
yeah, she decided, no doubt about it. I'm confident of that. That's why that's one of my her and a couple other of our historians. They some of my most prominent people. So I know she
Who
would
do
have
you
signed
look
it
up
and dealt with the
to, Umar?
consequences later.
Who do you look up to, Umar, in our history?
And our history, for me, at this time, it would if we speaking from Harriet Tubman time or now up to now time, what?
Anybody.
I mean, for me, man, I had a profound respect for Harriet as well as Thurgood Marsh, couple others, but today's time for me, and even Champion, that's only reflecting my journey that I've been through. Was one of the late Johnny Cochran was one of the late greats for me. That was one of my inspired mentors that I looked up to because I loved to see the way that he had installated himself to command the respect that he got from the powers that be. They didn't like him, they respected him though.
I want you to look up Chief John Horse.
Chief John Horse.
You find a greater Black American hero than Chief John Horse, then I'll buy you lunch.
Let's not forget my man from South Africa that we were talking about, my man Stephen Biko.
Steve Biko.
Oh yeah, I heard about him.
Nobody's heard of Chief John Horse.
Nah, I'm ready to pull him down. I want to see that.
Chief
John Horse.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing my work and I'm striving. If somebody ask a question, and one day somebody say Renny Bass.
Yeah, God willing, man.
God willing, that's the work.
Definitely.
How can
That's
people
the goal.
join? How can people join Kioba?
You can join Kioba. Kioba will be opening up on the second cohort. We have it in September. We'll be opening it back up, and we'll be advertising. They can go through Be More News and get the information because we'll definitely release it to Be More News when we open up that date. And that's it. Until that time, we're not really open for new members at this time. We will be opening up soon, and we will be welcoming the new brothers in. We got some amazing things happening in Kioba. Next year, we'll be starting the Kioba Soul Family Cookout. We'll be moving around different cookouts, different communities every year, providing food, music, happiness, grandpa and granny dance with millennials, and we're going to bring the community with the grannies and the young people together, and also bring resources and knowledge to the community. And we're going to come with a message. We are stronger together and organized. We cannot be stopped.
What you think? Time's up.
Unified.
Pop quiz. What you think of Chief John Horse?
I'm looking so far, man. It's definitely someone I wasn't aware of, and I appreciate the put on for it. But he's someone that definitely I'm interested in learning more about, and actually that he definitely will be included. Someone that I plan on including in my list.
They do these stories about these great white Americans. We got people in our lineage. Down in Brazil.
Yeah.
The freedom fighter down there was named Zumbi.
Yeah, I heard of him.
You heard of Zumbi, yeah.
Yeah.
Zumbi. Now in the end, they decapitated him.
Okay.
And what a lot of us don't know is that world history that there are 40 million black people in America. Do you know how many black people in Brazil?
It got to be way more than that, right?
Is it 400 million?
100 million.
Wow.
Brazil got the most black people outside of Africa.
Wow.
So Chief John Horse essentially was a black Indian. And a lot of us don't know that black people were here before the European was here.
Yeah.
We've been here. You got a video playing?
No, that wasn't me. That was somebody. I was a call coming in. Our video.
Okay. We've been here in North America. It's not. We've been here for thousands of years, going back to the days of the Egyptians. That's why out in Vegas they got the Luxor Hotel. You ever wonder why they got the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas?
Wow. Absolutely.
The Luxor is shaped like a pyramid. Why they got the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas? Because they got Kincaid's Cave in the Grand Canyon.
Because they like to take our history, man, and it's almost like a slap in the face. They take our history. You know what they found in Kincaid's Cave?
What?
Egyptian artifacts.
Wow.
Yeah. I said they like to take our history, man, and slap us in the face with it.
Did you know, Omar, you got 450 mound pyramids across North America?
Yeah, I've read that.
We've been here, man.
Yeah.
We've been here.
Why you think that's not readily known in history books, though?
Because white people don't know it.
And the ones that do, they don't want nobody else to know.
They don't want that promulgated, definitely.
So Doni, when we look at people who to look up to, you know, knowledge is power. Spreading the knowledge, the correct information and proper knowledge is going to be what it takes for us. Because if you listen to the radio, right, you can't get a conscious song to play on the radio. You put something out that's going to say something conscious and respectful to our women and, you know, telling our young guys what to do, that'll never play on the radio. But if you want to call them all type of names and downgrade them, and that's fine. That's you know, so we have to understand that the powers that be want to control the messages that we want to get out to our people.
Including dumb music.
Yeah.
Right. The music is the key.
Yeah.
Ain't no love music, man. Ain't no what's that man, Lenny? Ain't no love music.
No, ain't no that. I mean, they don't need, that's not even the issue no more than that.
Well, right, exactly. The love music grew into culture. It helped boost culture. It helped build identity. It gave you strong voices. You know, it gave you courage, and you know, all these things are positive in the music.
Like savages. Would you want your daughter to date one of these fools?
No, not at all.
But you know, the crazy part about it, a lot of these guys are really some nice guys and really articulate in what they're doing, but they understand business.
But they think that's the best way to become popular is to
it's the only way to become popular in this society.
Now. Yeah, now.
It's the only way.
So is that an excuse?
Well, it's not an excuse, but it is a reason. Because if you want to build a bag and you don't want to sell drugs, you know what I'm saying? So now what you do is you mentally abuse people to get your money. You know,
your son is a rapper.
Same thing.
Is he saying that?
And my son has some conscious music. He has some conscious music. It'll never get played. It'll never get played.
We gotta. Why we don't have our own damn distribution? I mean, is it really rocket science?
Right. Now we talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's what we got a whole continent of Africans, 1 billion people. Shorty, when I see African women wearing wigs,
it's mind blowing.
I'm like, what in the hell going on?
Man, this machine is serious, man. Don't take this machine lightly, man.
Why do my African sisters? Okay, okay. Let me leave the hair alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave the hair alone. But what is this bleaching cream shit? Why is a black woman putting bleaching cream on her beautiful black skin? What in the hell, Umar?
Well, she lost herself at some point. At that point,
she need to cut the TV off.
Yeah, lost herself, definitely. You know what I mean? Yeah, she lost herself.
I'm trying to get as black as I can in the summer. She trying to get light. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
All right, that'll raise enough hell today. Umar, how can people call you?
You can contact me at 667-335-6067.
Oh, you got to slow down. Come on, Umar. Stop playing.
667-335-6067.
Slow
And
down, Umar. Slow down. Slow down. One more time. We
you can
trying to get you
contact
some
us.
business, man.
You can
667.
You can contact us at Lone Wolf Legal Assistance Research Aid Services at 667-335-6067 or www.loneWolfResearchAidServices.com.
We're gonna work on your spiel. That's a long website. You're gonna have to get abbreviated, yo. Y'all the short that joint.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, but meantime, it's very important because it's synonymous to champion the underdog. So the name is the loan in itself have an attachment to it that's very profound. And that's what we would champion the underdog.
This is my specialty. We're gonna have to shorten that thing. LoneWolfLegal.com.
That's fine, Mr. Glover. That's fine. If that's easy to remember and operate with, we can work with it. Long as they reach out to us.
I want you to get some business.
And I can appreciate that. Definitely.
Lone Wolf Legal Assistant Research Aid.
Yeah.
So we got behind the wall mentoring. We down at the downtown Cultural Arts Center, 3 p.m. this Saturday coming up, the 24th.
I heard you got
in the behind the wall mentoring.
I heard you got
down at the downtown Cultural Arts
ping pong players down there, man.
I hear you.
I heard you got the baddest ping pong players in Baltimore at your center.
Yeah, I got my man Rodney down there.
It's some talent there. Definitely, they some talent.
We play for push-ups. We bet for push-ups. So we got. If you will come get in shape, come on down there and bring your ping pong racket with you. Hey, big shout out to Nicole, my special listener of the day. I appreciate you.
Hey, I thank you, Mr. Glover, for allowing me on the show. I appreciate the opportunity, man. It was a pleasure, man.
You get the final word. Tell them what you want them to know.
That it's fixable. I can say this as a people in the whole, we aren't lost. It's not lost and all gone. It's definitely fixable. And I believe it starts with every step, each one step and doing what they can do, that we can do, not what we can do and save everything and everybody, but it is fixable. It's salvageable. So I commend and encourage myself first and all the others to don't give up, because it's still doable. It ain't how we start, it's how we finish.
Absolutely. How to eat 300-pound gorilla. Hey, Donnie.
Yes,
how
sir.
to eat the 300-pound gorilla.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time,
man. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.
Can a German Shepherd beat a pit bull?
Huh?
Can a German Shepherd beat a pit bull?
Absolutely.
It depends on the dog, though.
Depend on the dog in him. Depend on the dog in him. You're right.
That's right.
Right. That's right about it.
I appreciate you, Umar, but we ain't giving you no pass, Umar. We're gonna make sure you're right.
I don't have no choice, but I don't have no choice but to.
I will tell you, real talk. University of Baltimore, I like their admission system. They're very helpful. They call you, they follow up, they do what they say they're going to do. You got a black president down there, Kurt Schmoke.
Yeah, my uncle from there.
University of Baltimore.
Sami Allahu liman hamidin.
Hamidin. That's right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward though, Mr. Glover, to like I said, I believe it's some fixing need to be done, but it'll be more success by way of being a fixing from the infrastructure than from the outer structures. So that's why I'm looking to get in and really get my foot in and create whatever change that I can do from the inside. That's where the fixing need to be done.
Yes, sir. Good morning, world.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.